Press the subscribe button if you like Ben 10. Hello my brothers and sisters by God, this is your brother in Christ, Abstraction Itself, here with another video, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how I made fusion feedback from from FusionFall Legacy. And, well, I guess you could say also from Ben 10. He's based off of feedback from Ben 10 Omniverse. But yes, I'm showing you guys how I made this. It was very difficult. It took 8.5 hours. But I started out by recoloring the little, conductor things. Because fusion feedback in FusionFall Legacy is based on teenage feedback from Ben 10 Omniverse. 16-year-old feedback, the one with all the conductors, the metal conductor things. So yeah, he was pretty difficult even with my newly developed Photoshop skills. And on this artwork, I used PhotoPea completely instead of Pixlr and PhotoPea, like I did for Ultimate Swampfire, because Flash is going away in 2020, after 2020, and I needed to practice, I needed to see what I could do on PhotoPea, since that's probably what I'm going to be using, because I use the Flash version of Pixlr, and I don't like the newer versions of Pixlr, so when Flash goes away, I can't really use Pixlr anymore. So yeah, PhotoPea it is. But yeah, I preferred the recoloring on Pixlr, but it's okay. I'm fine with PhotoPea's coloring. As you can see, I'm still recoloring. Paintbrush tool and the paint bucket tool were my friends so far. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing with that red stuff. I was just testing out new tools. You see, I'm not 100% proficient with this software, it's not really software, it's just a website. It is based on software though. But yeah, I'm not really proficient with the program yet. I'm still getting used to all the new stuff that's in it. It is a little different than Pixlr. But yeah, as you can see, I'm trying to copy the copy and paste the spikes from fusion feedback in the actual FusionFall Legacy, and I'm gonna spoil this, it doesn't work out. I try to make it work, and it does not work out. The spikes and the mouth were the hardest parts. Those were what took the longest. Like, the recoloring and shading and all that stuff didn't take too long. Like, that probably took total of 30 minutes, I'd say. Maybe 45. No, definitely not longer than an hour. Everything else, the spikes and the mouth, those took way too long. I'm telling you guys, those were like intense. So this took about 8.5 hours total, which still is shorter than how it used to be when I made these artworks. But yeah, it did take a while. Mainly because of the spikes in the mouth, like I said. I'm done with all the recoloring and fusion stuff, and even the Omnitrix symbol twisting. I got that down because of how I did it with Fusion Ultimate Swampfire in the last video. But yeah, anyways, in next week's video, I'm gonna show you guys all my fusions. All my new fusions, of course. Not my old ones. Not that the old ones are bad. They're good, actually. They're not bad at all. But yeah, I'm just gonna show you guys the new ones because I already made a video for the old ones. The new ones mainly just contain Legacy and Retro fusions that were not in the original game. But yeah, as you can see, the spikes are uneven, and that's also part of why they were so hard to do, because I couldn't just like go straight up and straight up. I had to like actually angle them to make it as accurate as possible. But yeah, I used the line tool. That helped out a ton, I'm telling you guys. Line tool was also my friend in this. And the wand tool, and the lasso tool. The lasso tool is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, mainly, yeah, throughout this whole thing, line tool, paintbrush, paint bucket, smudge, not blur, smudge tool, those were basically my friends, as well as like copy and paste and lassos. Polygon lasso is probably the best lasso out there. That like magnet lasso thing, it works decently, but it's not really good for like specific stuff like this. So yeah. And of course, I'm going to. I'm not. I don't expect videos like this to blow up. Like I didn't expect the Ultimate Swampfire one to blow up, nor do I expect this one to blow up. But I'm setting this as precedent because I have a brand new series coming out on my channel, and I think you guys will really like it if you're Ben 10 fans. Um, and even if you're not Ben 10 fans, I think you still might even like it actually. But it is Benton related, obviously. And I'm not going to say what it is because of how special it is. I've only told like one person, maybe like, yeah, I've told like not even, okay, maybe two people. I've told two people about it. Um, because it's actually really special and I think it'll really do well. Lately on YouTube, when it comes to Ben 10, I've seen the things that have been blowing up are those like fan transformations of like aliens that aren't in the reboot and then putting them in the reboot, like Swampfire or Armadillo. Those things blow up, but I feel like that's gonna get old really quick because I'm already getting bored of those. Except for Nexus. Nexus does a good job. He makes them appealing, but like the flip a clip ones, like no, I just can't do those anymore. Like, and I feel like everyone's gonna get bored of them soon. I want to do something that's long lasting that everyone can enjoy and that I will always enjoy, that I will never get bored of. And those flip a clip transformations are not something that are going to be long lasting. But yeah, and also you're going to be confused when I do the showcasing stuff. It I'm not going to say why I'm going to do it the way I'm going to do it, but I'm just going to say you might be confused of why is it like this, and you're going to enjoy the video, but you're also going to be like, oh, but why is it in this way? And you might catch on why. But I'm doing something that not very many YouTubers know about yet because it's like pretty brand new, and I think it'll also help my channel a lot. I expect the video that I showcase the new fusions on. I expect it to blow up, not right away, but probably like within a few months of it being uploaded. Um, maybe my expectations will be wrong, but I think it's gonna blow up. And I'm not gonna say why. I've already revealed too many secrets. YouTube is a thing where you kind of just gotta do it yourself. Oh yeah, and as you can see, uh, for whatever reason, Fusion Feedback in FusionFall Legacy, he has like all those like spiky conductors, but he actually doesn't have those on his shoulders at all. So I had to remove them. The right side, my not the feedback's right. The one on my right or my forget it. The one of the sides is easier than the other. The other one, the one that I'm working on right now as I'm speaking, I had to use 11-year-old feedback and Photoshop that on, but he was blurry because I had to increase the size, so I had to clean that up a bit. But yeah, the other one was way easier because I just had to cut it out with the polygon lasso. But yeah, with this one, I just had to rip it and then add it in, and then clean it up a bit, and it looked pretty nice. The reason I'm not explaining it the way I did in my Ultimate Swampfire one is because it's pretty much most of the stuff I'm doing is the same. The only thing that I did differently was the spikes and the mouth. That mouth, oh snap, that mouth was crazy. Oh yeah, and the reason I turned around those Fusion Feedback's image, kind of his arms, was so that it would be easier for me to replicate it, because I wanted it to be exactly like it, or at least closely as possible to resemble it. Right now you can see that I'm using a line tool and trying to do it differently. I ended up scrapping that and just copying and pasting it because it wasn't symmetrical, and at least even though Fusion Feedback is like mutated, his spikes are symmetrical even though they aren't perfect spikes, like they aren't going straight up like normal spikes, but Fusion Feedback's spikes were pretty symmetrical. Like his one spike that's protruding one way on his left arm protrudes the same way on his right arm. So I felt I needed to do that too. So I just copied and pasted it to make it easier for myself instead of trying to do it over again because I could not make it exactly the same. So yeah, yeah, it was fun. I see that you guys can probably see that I've been listening to some videos and stuff. That's what I usually do when I do this kind of stuff. I usually like listen to YouTube or like a podcast or some music, so I'm just not listening to nothing. I also do that when I like doing pretty much everything, like homework or brushing my teeth. You know, it helps pass the time. Um, yeah. And it makes stuff like this not feel boring. Like, I wouldn't say this is boring, but it is time consuming, and it makes the time go by quicker. Especially if I'm doing like the same thing over and over again, like recoloring like certain parts of them. But yeah, I am actually very happy with how this turned out. I I would say that Fusion Feedback has the best fusion design, but of the designs that I've made, he has the second best of the ones that I've made. I really cannot. I could not have been happier with Fusion Feedback. He was the older one that I made a few years ago. Fusion Feedback, I was so happy with that thing. I thought he looked sick, in a good way, not bad sick, like cough cough sick. Don't stay safe at don't catch the cocoa, but like you know I thought that the Fusion Amphibian, I don't think any Fusion can beat that. But maybe you guys will think otherwise. Maybe you guys will really like Fusion Feedback, because I really did like how he turned out. I was really afraid with the mouth. I was like, oh snap, because once I get to the mouth part, you're gonna be like, oh snap, man, because like with the mouth, I was really worried that it would just not work out. And I was just like, what am I going to do? Because this is the reason that I even skipped Fusion Feedback in the first place. Because Fusion Feedback has been out for years. Like like the other Fusions, like, see, I don't want to say what they are because it'll spoil them for the next video, the video where I showcase them. But, okay, I'll just say like one of them. Like, the Fusions that came out in FusionFall Retro, like Fusion Spider Monkey, and the other ones that came out, those ones came out last year, like in 2019, I think. Because that's when the whole Ben 10 update came. Where they added all those new Ben 10 missions and, stuff like that. So, that stuff came out last year. But Fusion Feedback we've known what he looked like since, I don't even know the year, actually. I'm at the time of recording this, but he's been out for years, and I just hesitated so much on him. Even last year when I was working on the fusions that came up for FusionFall Retro, I hesitated on Fusion Feedback because I just worried about like how I'm gonna do the spikes and the mouth and everything. I knew it was gonna be complicated. It's just that now I have confidence because I'm way better at photoshopping than I used to be. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's how things went down. You see, I'm still recoloring, still changing some things, cleaning it up. But yeah, I'm done with all the spikes, I'm pretty sure. I finished all the spikes at this point in the video. And yeah, I was pretty satisfied. I thought the spikes actually looked pretty cool, like, kind of like Arctic Wana, He's pretty cool, too. But yeah. And, yeah, I was listening to Panman 14's music. You FusionFall people will understand that Panman 14 is the music producer for FusionFall Retro. Well, for the newer songs in FusionFall Retro, and some stuff from FusionFall Legacy as well. So, yeah, I really hope you guys can hear me. I can't use my normal mic that I use that I've been using for the past few months because, I can't. That is a school mic. Oh yeah, and with the mouth, I basically ended up getting rid of the teeth. But yeah, I did copy and paste the mouth. Yeah, I copied and pasted the mouth, and then I cleaned it up. I fixed the eye a little bit, as you can see, but I fixed up the mouth. I just copied and pasted it, and then I used the wand tool and traced it. Oh yeah, and then you see me going to, Jet Ray again. Because, he is perfect. I just flip him around, put out that Omnitrix symbol, and bang. For some reason, Fusion Feedback, like, he has a circular Omnitrix symbol, even though Feedback doesn't. Feedback has, like, a segmented Omnitrix symbol, but fusion feedback has a circular one for some reason. So that's pretty interesting, as you can see. But yeah, it made it easier for me because I honestly don't know. Like, if I had to try to turn that thing around, I don't know what I would have done. But yeah, as you can see, I just cleaned that up. And then I had to darken it, obviously, like it did, just like the last one, just like in Fusion Swampfire. Oh yeah, and now at this, oh yeah. So yeah. And yes, like I said, it did take 8.5 hours total. But, you know, I would say the time was worth it. And I'm very happy with how it turned out. But yeah. Oh yeah, and by the way, the fusion texture that I use for my fusion art, for all my fusion art, every single one of them, except for one that I haven't put out yet, but you'll see it in the showcasing video. There's only one that I didn't use the fusion texture from, but these fusion textures that I use, that I'm not on yet in this part of the video yet, but when I start doing it, those were from Tech the Noob. And Tech the Noob actually made a tutorial showing how to make fusions, and that's how I learned how to make fusions like this. Of course, I actually found a few hacks that make Tech the Noob's thing a little more complicated than what I'm doing now. But, you know, it worked for what he was doing, because he was fusionizing himself, whereas I'm fusionizing aliens from Ben 10. So, you know, different reasons, different purposes, but yeah, as you can see, I just photoshopped the mouth on, then I colored over it, added the fusion texture. I made it the same color as his torso because they needed to match. But yeah, added the fusion texture, you know, put 2 of them, and yeah, I hard lighted it just like the last time. Yeah, Tech the Noob taught me how to do this via his YouTube video, or is it via? But yeah, actually, Tech the Noob is my favorite FusionFall Retro YouTuber. I don't think I've ever said that before, but he is, because of his personality, his character. The guy's hilarious. Like, you know, like, I remember watching this one video from this. He's like, so apparently, you're not supposed to hack in FusionFall Retro, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And then he just starts speed hacking. And it's funny because he's a mod. I don't think he was actually speed hacking. He probably just speeded up the video, but it was still funny, though. Like, the guy is hilarious. Like, he's way too underrated for a FusionFall Retro YouTuber. You know, I like Prisified. I think, yeah, Tech the Noob is a developer, so is Prisified. And I like Prisified's Let's Plays. He Let's Played the whole game, so that was kind of nice to watch. Especially since I didn't get to finish the game because Cartoon Network shut it down. Which sucks, but yeah. Open Fusion, I have not been up to date with that, but apparently there's like a thing, Open Fusion, where you can play FusionFall again. I don't know. I was aware that at first Open Fusion was only like you could just roam around. You could see other people, but you couldn't talk to them. You couldn't do any missions. You could only just explore the game, or explore the world of the game. You couldn't do anything. But I think now you can actually play the game. I just haven't had the time to because I'm doing all this stuff. You know, I'm doing school, I'm doing wrestling, I'm doing band, I'm doing YouTube, I'm doing sleep, I'm doing eat. You know, it's just so much, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, I remember back in 2013, I would just have like 30 minutes of homework, and then I just spend the rest of my time just watching Benson Omniverse and playing games on the Cartoon Network. And now I'm out here like, I can't remember the last time I played a game. Actually, I do. But before that, I can't remember the last time I played a game. The last time I played a game was Thanksgiving break. I played Power Trip. It was a pretty good game. It was fun. I had a good time with it. Power Trip is a great game. I played it with my brother. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be filming Power Trip because of the stuff that I have planned for the channel. I'm going to niche it down to even... yeah, it's just it won't make sense right now when I'm not being specific. So I'm just gonna stop with my plans. You guys will just see how I do it. Yeah, you see how long I spent on this mouth. You see how long I spent on it, guys. It's crazy. I did so much editing on it and everything. But yeah. Oh yeah. And then I got some slime dripping on Google, and I changed the color of that. And yeah, it looked pretty good. I just had to like move it around and see where it looked good. I wanted to make it look like it was coming out of his mouth. The reason I added slime was because Fusion Feedback and FusionFall Legacy, in that picture, he has slime coming out of his mouth. So, you know, I thought it would be appropriate to have slime. But yeah, Fusion Feedback's unique because not many fusions have mouths, and he has a big mouth that's very scary. But yeah, I finished recolored the shadows, and yeah, bada bing, bada boom, he's perfectly done. I did ask someone on Discord if they thought he looked better with the slime or without the slime, and they said with the slime. I thought he looked better with the slime too, so I kept the slime. But yeah, this is what he looks like. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and stay tuned for next week when I showcase all my new fusions, all my new Ben 10 fusions. Yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share, and I hope to see you guys next time. God bless.